Right, everyone. Well, what we're doing today, we've got to plant the shallots out. So what we've done for the ground preparation is we've added the manure. The manure's been on over winter. It's been dug. So what we've done, we've used the mantis tiller, which is here at the side of me. We've tilled it all up the best we can. There's still bits of manure on the top, but that will break down over the summer months. But we're going to plant the shallots today. So what I've tilled it all up. I don't show it on camera because it'd be too noisy. So what I've done, I've tilled all the area up, made it nice and nice and ready to use. So now we're going to add the fertiliser. Right, the fertiliser we're using. Well, what I've got in here, we bought it from our allotment shop. As you can see, bloodfish and blown plus grow more. This is a 50-50 mix of grow more and bloodfish and bone. That gives me a ratio of an NPK of 12, 12, 13. 12 nitrogen, 12 phosphates, 12 potash. So that gives me a boost than just using single grow more or single bloodfish and bone. That's the theory anyway. Whether it works out to that ratio, we don't know, but that's what I tend to do. I tend to get good results, so I can't complain. But like I say, it's a grow more mix, so we'll put a sprinkle on now, and that's all I'll get now until later on in the season, and then we'll give them a potash feed towards the end. But these are the shots, Havard in Hort. The stock originally came off Graham Watson's stock, so we've done pretty well with them for the last few years. As long as we keep the alien leaf miner at bay, we're alright. But we do tend to, we cover with Eva mesh and we spray as well, so hopefully we keep it down. Right, we're going to sprinkle it over. Only a bit, you don't need too much fertiliser. I try not to walk on what I've just done, just chuck it over. It's too windy over today. Just get a good sprinkle, because you don't want to overdo fertilisers. And plus the grow more is a slow release fertiliser, where bloodfish and bone's a lot quicker. So we do plant something in here later on, so the grow more will still be kicking in, hopefully, as a later, when we put a later crop in. Because shallots I'm picked up, normally you're picking ready for, ripening off about first week to second week in June, to at least the maximum third week, because we don't want them to get a double. And that's an hard thing with shallots. You can have cracking shallots and next minute they all go double, and we try to avoid that because they're no good for exhibition. Alright, giving it a sprinkle. Alright, and then what we'll do is give it a good raking in. Alright. I don't know how many shallots we're going to get in here yet, because it varies each year. It depends how many I put in a row and all the rest of it. So, alright, as you can see. Phew. Right, there we go. We've put it on now. Now what we'll do, put the lid on in case we have a drop of rain, and give it a good raking in. So as we're moving it backwards and forwards now, hope you can see this. As you're moving it backwards and forwards, you're moving your fertiliser from different parts of the garden, and then, you know, when raking it in, damp anyway, so it's going to pretty much activate straight away. So these shots really need to start going in, because I'm starting to divide in the pots. Normally I get these out in the second week in March, maybe the first week, normally dependent on the weather. But it's a good job we did hold them off, really, because, you know, we had that nice drop of snow. So, right, we'll rake all this out. So what I should do now is rake all this out, make it nice and level as possible, and then we'll come back when we've started planting the shallots. So I'm going to level all this out now, and then we'll come back and show you when we're doing the shallots. Right, as you can see now, we'll come back to planting the shallots out. Right, I've already started doing 2 rows, but we're going to get cracked on. Right, you'll see when I come to the end of the row that what the shallots are looking like. They should have been planted out really 2 weeks ago, but I'm glad I held it off, really, because we had all that snow and they'd have been pretty much covered, and that wouldn't have been what we wanted. So they are a bit on the large side, the tops anyway, but yeah, we've got a good root system. You know, if you're wondering why they're in a 5-inch pot, I've done this for the last few years, and some of you think, oh, that's a big pot to put a shallot in. I've just done it for the last couple of years, and I've had good results by doing it from this way. So you don't change what works for yourself, because if you change what works, it ends up going wrong, and you wonder why. You know, you think, oh, I shouldn't have changed what I did. So stick to what's been working best for yourself. But this is my way. A shallot in a 5-inch pot, because it gives them time, see, for you know, there is fertiliser added, there is some onion leek fertiliser in there, in the compost mix, and yeah, don't forget when you're planting your shallots, the shallot has to be on the top surface, because it's no good planting the shallots deep, because the bulb's got to be on top. So one, it makes it easier for yourself to split it when it comes to it, and to clean them up. And because if they're too deep, you'll end up scraping around, and it could cause, you know, anything to the bulbs, because we want a nice even round bulb, slight eye shoulder, but not too bad. Right, getting them planted. After this, we'll cover them up with Eva mesh. Now, as you can imagine, the ground is a bit wet, so we'll just give them a light watering. There we go, digging them all out now. I reckon I'll average about 30 into this bed. I did get more in last year, I had about 46, but it was a bit tough when it come to thinning them and weeding to get around them, if you know what I mean, because I do plant them a bit too close. But if we get 30 plants in, you'll get 90 to 100 easy back. So you get more than what you put in. So obviously, because they split. Alright, strain that bulb up. So you really don't want them starting splitting the pot, because you want all the goodness to, to split in the ground, to make it, hopefully they get the goodness out of it. Alright, see me throwing the rubbish to one side on the path so we can clean it up after. Right. Like I said, once these shallots have finished, we harvest them and we'll plant something else in. Not too sure yet what we'll be putting in, but we'll find something. So let's see if you can see that. You probably won't be able to because I'm in the way. Alright, firm in, push it round, straighten the bulb up. Lovely job. Right, as we come to this last one now. Right, there you can see shallots, quite a bit of top growth on, and as you can see, it's probably a bit overdue for that, but as we'll knock it out the 5-inch pot. Right, we've got a good root system, as you can see. Near, it's just ready to take pot man, so we can get on with that. Alright, dig a hole. Alright, make sure it ain't too deep, because it's got to be left on the surface so you can see your shallot bulb what you've planted originally. Alright, check it. Oh, it's a bit too deep, that is. Alright, a bit more in the hole. And as you can see, that just sits above. We're backfilling. Backfilling. Alright, firm it down. Give it clean round. And there we go. Right, so what we'll do now, we'll get the rest of these rows planted. I thought I'd just show you a row on how I planted them. And yeah, we'll get these planted and then I'll show you at the end when we've finished. Ooh. Right, as you can see now, we have finished planting all the shallots. That's 30. Like I say, we have cut them down this year and a bit more spaced, but now we're going to cover them up with the Eva mesh. So we'll get on with that now and I'll show you once covered up. But they're all planted up. As you can see, we're having a drop of rain now. Saves me watering them in. There we go. All done. Hopefully we'll have some good ones again. And there we go. All covered up. Exhibition shallots for 2023. Covered in Enviromesh. We shall still spray them, just in case. But we got 95% protection now against the allium leaf miner. It's just a cane frame, as you can see, and then we should take it off now and then from one side, just weed, and then we can always water through the top as and when we need to. But apart from that, I'm all ready. Just a general weeding and thinning down when it's required. That's how I set my shallots up, and I hope you've maybe picked up one or two tips. Thank you.